What do you owe the people who made you? The Cambodian debt is not what you think. In the West, debt is a number, a balance, something you can finish paying. In Cambodia, the most important debt in your life can never be paid in full. And every Cambodian knows it the moment they are old enough to understand. It is not money. It is not borrowed. It is not signed. It is something you are born holding. You owe it before you can speak. You inherit it before you understand it. And you will spend your entire life carrying it, quietly, willingly, sometimes without ever naming it out loud. To understand it, you have to leave behind the Western idea of debt entirely. Because in Cambodia, the deepest debt you will ever owe is not for what someone gave you. It is for who you would not exist without. In many Cambodian families, there is a quiet teaching that begins before a child can walk. That you are not self-made, that your face, your name, your breath, your future, all of it was given by a mother who carried you, by a father who built around you, by a grandmother who fed you when the food was not enough. Research published in Religions in 2022 describes filial gratitude as among the most powerful structuring forces in Khmer culture. Not a feeling, a structure, a weight that holds a family in place. In traditional Cambodian culture, this debt has a name, kun, and it is not the same as gratitude in English. Gratitude in English is something you feel. Kun is something you owe. Often, when a young Cambodian man enters monkhood, even for a week, even for a single morning, it is not because he wants to leave the world. It is because he wants to give something back to his mother. The Buddhist teaching is direct. A son who ordains transfers merit to his parents. Their suffering eases, their next life lifts. To many Cambodian families, this is not symbolic, it is real. And so a mother who has carried, fed, worried, and aged, watches her son in the saffron robe and weeps, not from sadness, from a debt finally being touched. But here is what outsiders miss: the debt is never finished. A week as a monk does not close the account. A house built for parents does not close the account. A salary sent home for 30 years does not close the account. Because kun is not a balance, it is a relationship. To understand why the Cambodian debt is so heavy, you have to look at what almost destroyed it. Historians estimate that before 1975, Cambodia had around 65,000 Buddhist monks living across more than 3,000 temples. By 1979, fewer than 3,000 were left. The Khmer Rouge did not only kill people, they tried to erase the entire architecture of Cambodian gratitude. Monks were forced to disrobe, temples were turned into prisons and storage barns. Families were broken apart, children were taken from parents. Names were replaced with numbers. For 4 years, the country was not allowed to say thank you in the way it had said it for centuries. You could not ordain for your mother. You could not pray for your father. You could not even keep the small altar by the door where the ancestors lived. And yet, when the regime collapsed, one of the very first things Cambodians did, before they had food, before they had homes, was rebuild the pagodas. Not because of religion alone, because the structure of debt, child to parent, living to ancestor, was the only thing they had left that proved they were still a people. Saffron robes returned to the riverbanks. Old men became monks again, so they could pass the lineage forward. Children carried offerings up the temple steps with hands they had been taught to fold. The country did not rebuild its economy first. It rebuilt its capacity to repay what it owed. That tells you something about Cambodia that no statistic can. Walk through Phnom Penh today, and the debt is still visible, if you know where to look. In the young woman sending most of her salary back to her village every month. In the son who turned down a job abroad because his grandmother was unwell. In the daughter who postponed her own wedding so her younger brother could finish school. These are not sacrifices. In the Cambodian sense, they are repayments. And this is where the Western mind often misreads Cambodia entirely. To an outsider, it can look like obligation, like burden. like a family pressing too hard on a single life. But that framing assumes the individual is the unit. In many Cambodian families, the unit is not the person, it is the lineage. Your face is not only your face, it is your mother's face, your grandmother's face, your village's face. Your success is shared. Your suffering is shared. Your debt is shared. And so a Cambodian carrying corn is not weighed down by it the way a Westerner imagines. They are held by it, held inside a network of names older than them and futures not yet born, held by the idea that they did not arrive alone, and they will not leave alone. The debt is not a chain, it is a thread woven through every generation, keeping the family whole. To cut would not be freedom, it would be falling. In the West, you are free when you owe no one. In Cambodia, you are whole because you do. That is the difference no balance sheet will ever measure. Next week, the Cambodian smile is not what you think. Why one of the most famous expressions in Southeast Asia almost never means what outsiders believe, and what it is really protecting. Subscribe if this opens something for you. See you next week.